Welcome to Game 3 of the series, finally. Let's see if Cruzz's Soviets can take on Barton's Oberkommando West. Apparently, Cruzz has chosen Soviets for Game 3, and Barton, OKW, again, gonna see if he can make it work. Kuba Wagon, in production. Tank Hunter, Guard Motor, Shock Rifle, again. I don't think either of them has changed their loadouts at all. In fact, against Elite Armor, Breakthrough, and Luftwaffe Ground Forces, Cruzz is going to change his build slightly, though, to get an extra Combat Engineer pretty early here. Taking building control with this Combat Engineer squad before advancing. He will have vision of those Sturm Pyos. Jump into some green cover here.
Combat engineers are standing by.
SWS will destroy this fence. Combat Engineers actually winning against Sturm Pyos at that long range, but the Kuba Wagon will move up to push them back into the house. Second Combat Engineer squad is going to head straight north with conscripts grabbing the cutoff. And Volksgrenadiers are in production now. Oh yeah, Lend-Lease, sorry, not Tank Hunter. Did I say Tank Hunter? I meant Lend-Lease. They both wear this helmet. They look very similar.
Grenadier, ready for action.
Infantry assaulting!
Sturm Pyos working on these Combat Engineers. Bringing them down pretty quickly. Conscripts oorahing towards the building to try and preserve building control. Kuba Wagon will rotate to try to counter. They will make it inside the house, and the Combat Engineers will get to safety. Sturm Pioneers will continue firing on these conscripts at close range. They don't have any cover right here. It looks like they're gonna lose. Yep. Sturm Pioneers should definitely retreat. And there they go. Not a great opening engagement for those Sturm Pyos, really, and now not being able to repair this Kuba Wagon is going to hurt Barton as well.
Grenadier are on the line.
Kuba Wagon slowly working on the conscripts inside that building, and this squad is making its way towards the cutoff right here. Barton off to a much weaker start than last game. Combat Engineers slowly taking control of everything here in the north. This squad of Combat Engineers, actually they're Vet 1 apparently, after the first engagement against those Sturms, but they're going to head south and get control of this area. Their Vet 1 ability is just tripwire flares though, which I'm not sure I've ever seen a Combat Engineer squad plant a tripwire flare, because that just straight up makes no sense at all, but whatever. So being Vet 1 doesn't actually make that big of a difference. Conscripts moving to take control of the strategic point here as well. Sturm Pioneers are going to charge into close range on those conscripts, force them to retreat. Volksgrenadiers moving to take control of the victory point, and Sturm Pyos will get building control here. So Barton actually has a pretty good hold on the south for now, and if he can force further retreats with this Kuba Wagon, win this engagement, there's the suppression. Winning that engagement against those conscripts easily. He should be able to maintain his hold on this south fuel, but Cruzz has this entire section of the map captured by his Combat Engineers, so Barton is having to fight very hard just to maintain a very small amount of territory here in the early game. Four Conscript, 2 Combat Engineer opening again, 4 Volksgrenadier and Kuba Wagon opening again for Barton, neither of them changing their build, although they've both changed their tactics quite significantly, but it looks like the map is going to end up looking pretty much the same, despite both of them modifying their initial capping order and positioning in the early game. It looks like things are turning out pretty much the same. That could be a wipe right there, very good chance, and there it is, nice wipe by Barton. He is forced to retreat from this engagement, unfortunately, though, which means he's going to lose building control to Cruzz and may be a little bit stranded over here with his Sturms and Kuba Wagon on the left. Meanwhile, Volksgrenadiers look like they're winning an engagement against a flamethrower on the right side, and Cruzz will be forced to retreat from this as well. Still no commander selections from either player, still no tech from either player. I'm wondering if Barton will go tier 2 with Panzer Fusiliers again this game. Kuba Wagon's just hovering along on this road. Going to reposition in this direction. Cruzz does have AT grenades now. Conscripts moving to take building control, try and harass those Volksgrenadiers slightly. Cruzz is taking control of pretty much the entire map, while Barton needs to get his Volksgrenadiers back onto the battlefield. Bit of a Volksgrenadier blob here in his base, trying to push Cruzz's conscripts off of his cutoff. These conscripts taking control of the fuel, and this Kubelwagen will start to suppress these conscripts. Try and push them away from the fuel point, while Volksgrenadier blob takes the cutoff back. Meanwhile, this squad of conscripts has pushed away the Volksgrenadier squad here. Tier 2 is going up for Barton, who does have access to Fusiliers now, if he chooses to go break through. He's got 2 CPs, and Cruzz has fielded his first squad of guards, having chosen guard motor coordination.
Cooper, prepare for orders.
Contact! Enemy infantry!
Contact! Infantry assaulting! Aboard its field!
Contact has been permanently established as a static post. Ready!
Target secure.
Kubelwagen has to back away from this advancing blob, targeting those combat engineers. It does not manage to suppress those guards. If they get even a couple shots off on that Kubelwagen, it will be destroyed with their PTRSs.
Ready to be deployed.
Panzer Fusiliers deployed, making their way onto the battlefield. Pretty difficult for Barton this game. The reason that breakthrough is so difficult against guard motor is because your Volksgrenadiers are outmatched by conscripts at pretty much every point, and then guards hit the field at the same time as your Fusiliers, and guards can beat Fusiliers, so at no point do you have an infantry squad that is better than anything your opponent has, and you have to make amazing use of your Kubelwagen and Sturm Pioneers to turn engagements in your favor, or just make much better use of cover and
Contact! Small arms fire!
buildings, and trying to engage with superior numbers. Try to engage as favorably as possible against what's basically much better infantry than anything you have on the field. Not to mention the PTRS also is a soft counter to any vehicles you may try and field initially, so can be a very difficult situation for Rubber Commando West against guard motor.
Contact! Infantry!
We'll see if Barton can figure it out. He's got Volksgrenadiers in this building, Volksgrenadiers engaging guards from the south. He has control of this building with his Panzer Fusilier squad. Volksgrenadiers engaging against Flamethrower here in the south. Kubelwagen's been repaired and is moving to try and push that Flamethrower off the battlefield. Sturm Pioneers moving in that general direction to try to support. Volksgrenadiers have taken control of the north victory point and are moving to grab the munitions next. Cruzz working mostly here in the north with his conscripts and guards. Kubelwagen does successfully force a retreat from that Flamethrower. Fresh squad of Fusiliers on the field now.
Grenadiers ready!
Volksgrenadiers are going to pull slightly away from those conscripts, jumping into this building. Try and hold the line, but their retreat path is compromised. 2 squads of conscripts and a squad of guards in the retreat path. Barton's going to have to try and another squad of conscripts in the retreat path. So Barton's going to have to try and figure something out to clear a safe way home for that Volksgrenadier squad, which is extremely stranded. Currently trading for all territory here in the south, though, with a lot of squads getting a lot captured. 1 squad of conscripts almost got wiped right there, getting away very narrowly. Fusiliers need to get out of red cover over here, though. Get out of the red cover. Volksgrenadiers are going to hide behind the building for now. Kubelwagen is moving to try and shut down this push by these. Oh, that lucky flame burst! Wow. That's going to shut down this push hard. Flamethrower is going to pull back to get control of some territory while these squads move up to support and holding control of this cutoff. Meanwhile, the engagement for the right side looks like it's not really going in Barton's favor, but he will at least get back control of this strategic point, if nothing else. This Volksgrenadier squad is circled all the way around and will be able to get back home safely, thanks to some sneaky maneuvering by Barton. Panzer Fusiliers and Volksgrenadiers and Sturm Pios will be able to hold this position by the green cover wall outside of Cruzz's base, and it looks like Barton has pretty good map control right now. And Cruzz a little low on manpower, spending a lot on reinforcement. He's bought 2 of the 3 base upgrades, so 375 manpower spent on those.
Capture complete. Standing by.
And he's struggling just slightly to keep up with Barton. He's camping this cutoff pretty successfully with that Kuba wagon, which is still alive. And sending the most of the rest of his army north to try and get back control of this fuel. Cruzz is going to cross the road right here. There are stern piles inside of this building, so it'll be dangerous to get too close. And the flamethrower is unfortunately suppressed. It will get unsuppressed, try and get into range where they can start bursting that building down. These two squads will make their way towards Barton's cutoff, but a huge blob is on its way to counter, and it doesn't look like this engagement's going to go very well for Cruzz either. Conscripts retreat way too late and get wiped. Kuba wagon engaging against the conscripts, jumping into this building. Suppresses them slightly. Cruzz does have AT grenade research though. Rather than utilize it, he's just going to jump out of the building for now and get suppressed again. These two squads will be forced to retreat. But these Soviet squads will be forced to retreat, and it looks like Barton will maintain generally control over this engagement, but the map is still split in half. Cruzz is not teched at all, and as a result will have access to T-34s easily when he finally hits 10 CPs. Barton, on the other hand, has 100 fuel in the bank and probably go Jagdpanzer at some point, is my assumption. Struggling a little bit to get munitions together for G43s. There's one upgrade on this squad. Going to take a little bit of time, but that will definitely help with his anti-infantry firepower, and he's actually going to make his way towards his opponent's cutoff right here. Cutting off Cruzz and putting him back into his base. Volksgrenadiers moving to take control of this fuel point in the north, and that Kuba wagon has made a very dramatic impact this game, but it might go down. Oh, save that. There it goes. Guards come dangerously close to getting wiped on the retreat right there, but a Soviet blob moving up is going to force those two squads of Volksgrenadiers to retreat easily. These guards are still suppressed by the Kuba wagon and may stay suppressed in red cover by Volksgrenadiers. If so, might be able to force a retreat or at least delay the recapture of any of this territory. Cruzz losing a lot of resources here on the cutoff. Slowly getting that back under his control. Volksgrenadiers are taking control of this fuel point now. G43 is upgraded for Barton, and the Kuba wagon is fully repaired, moving back to the front line. We use his mobile suppression source to try and force retreats if possible. Oh, it's going to get caught by two squads of guards, though. No, Barton, run! There he goes. Looks like that Kuba wagon will get to safety. Guards might want to consider splitting up a little bit if they're going to flank that thing. It's a little trapped right here because of this green cover wall. G43 blob is going to have no problem forcing that flamethrower out of the building. It's going to die. There it goes. Okay, gets away very narrowly. Kuba wagon, however, is set up perfectly for this and suppresses one of those two squads, and both guards pushed back into Cruzz's base by the Kuba wagon and G43 blob. Over here in the north, Volksgrenadiers taking control of the victory point, moving to take control of the munitions next. Cruzz struggling a little bit because, well, mostly probably because he didn't tech. If he had gone T-70 at some point, probably be in an okay position right now, but pretty ample protection against tanks here from Barton, who is now sinking manpower into Raketenwerfers. So he's starting to prepare himself for the T-34-85s. He's got some time, still three CPs before those arrive, and those are going to produce pretty significant momentum swing. Cruzz getting outplayed pretty hard here at every turn, and he's going to be relying on those T-34s to save him since he can't seem to get map control anywhere. AT grenade on the Kuba wagon, that needs to get to safety. That's a damaged engine. I think that Kuba's finally going to go down, although it does have a road to try to retreat on. It needs to backpedal faster. Oorah runs out. Kuba wagon trying to get to safety, but it's trapped. I don't know if it's going to be able to get away. I don't think so. It's dead. And there it goes. I think. Okay. There it goes for real. Conscripts hunt it down and kill it. Meanwhile, here, guards taking control of the fuel point, with Cruzz finally managing to get rid of that Kuba wagon. Hopefully he'll have a little bit more success getting territory under his control. I doubt Barton is going to replace it at this stage of the game, which does mean he'll have no access to suppression of any kind. But Cruzz not monitoring his conscript squad just got wiped again. How many wipes is that? No infantry wipes for Barton at all this game, except for the Kubelwagen dying, and 3 conscripts and 1 combat engineer squad have been wiped by Barton. I don't know if Cruzz is going to be able to come back from that many losses. He's got to start thinking about floating resources for his call-in tanks soon. G43s will be forced to retreat right there.
Enemy forces capturing supply sector.
Combat engineers taking control of the munitions. These combat engineers throw a demo charge down here in the south. Cruzz getting a little bit of territory back right now while Barton's blob makes its way back out of the base. Squad of guards is forced to retreat. This one's probably gonna be reinforced and available to go get some territory back in the north soon. Nice minesweep by Barton. He will not step over that demo charge. Protecting his blob with a minesweeper. good practice to employ. Destroys the demo charge. Gunning down a couple of squads on the retreat. And now Barton will have a Jagdpanzer in addition to his 2 Raketenwerfers on the field for protection against the call-in tanks, which will be here quite soon. Cruzz floating the resources up for them now. We'll have access to them after probably one more engagement. Or something else just happened. He just got a bunch of CPs from something. Did Barton hit a mine? I feel like a squad just got wiped. Right? Yeah, Volksgrenadier squad got wiped. Where did it die? I don't know. I don't know what happened.
The enemy is reduced to 300 points.
Ah, it's gonna annoy me if I can't find this Volksgrenadier squad that died. Well, somewhere Volksgrenadier squad died. So nice wipe by Cruzz. I have no idea what happened, but that's what happened. Volksgrenadier squad died. That'll help Cruzz out a little bit, equalize things manpower-wise, also reduce Barton's Panzerschreck potential slightly for the T-34s that are going to be hitting the field pretty much right now.
In contact with flamethrower team!
Flamethrower into the house. Volksgrenadiers are going to reposition to safety somewhat. These squads reinforcing in the base, and here come 2 T-34s rolling onto the field to try and turn this game around for Cruzz, who really needs to get some territory back under control. He's actually quite behind for victory points too. They will smash into the field right here on these Sturm Pioneers. But the Jagdpanzer and Raketenwerfers are set up pretty well for this push. Those T-34s are going to go in on it immediately. Cruzz just going all in on this push. No fear, apparently. Too bad those Raketenwerfers weren't set up behind this green cover wall. Anti-tank grenade from that Panzer Fusilier squad will connect with this T-34. They are diving hard on that Jagdpanzer while it's vulnerable. I think it's going to go down here. This T-34 has engine damage and needs to try to get to safety. T-34 misses a critical shot against the Jagdpanzer right there and must continue chasing. It's not going to get this next shot off. It's going to waste a shot on that SWS before it can get back into close range against that Jagdpanzer, which it must try to do as quickly as possible. Both Raketenwerfers cleared by the T-34 right here. SWS destroyed, and that Jagdpanzer will also go down. Oh my god, Barton, this couldn't have gone worse. There is no way this could have gone worse. I can't believe this just happened. Wow. If those Raketenwerfers had just been in the right spot on that right Jagdpanzer's flank, this would have been a horribly disastrous push for Cruzz. It would have been GG. Now, both Raketenwerfers destroyed, Jagdpanzer destroyed, all in exchange for 1 T-34, which is an excellent trade for Cruzz. He will destroy both of those completely. His infantry blob will arrive and push Barton completely off the battlefield. What a disgusting turnaround. I can't even believe that this is happening. Heavy mortar pounds the Raketenwerfer right there, dealing third Reckenwerfer on the field now. Barton's going to have to salvage some of these things, get his fuel back up, because he's building a second Jagdpanzer right now. I think he could probably still salvage this game with that second Jagdpanzer. He's had a big enough map control advantage that he's actually got a decent amount of fuel and get another Jagdpanzer out, and against one T-34, hopefully he'll have slightly better luck this time.
Enemy flanking us! Receiving effective fire! Taking fire! Ready!
Heavy mortar is going to retreat back to the base right there. 2 squads of G43 Fusiliers crossing the road into close range on those guards. Reckenwerfer jumping into this strategic point. Another squad of guards here with these 3 squads of guards, in fact, on the field. A third one coming now. Those G43 Fusiliers are going to struggle a little. Getting gunned down pretty hard. Heavy mortar bombarding them as well. Grenade into the house. T-34 has been fully repaired and will move into this engagement to try and push everything away. Reckenwerfer gets a shot on the T-34, which will disengage slightly. Cruzz still has another 100 fuel to go before he can field a second set, and the Jagdpanzer is now on the field. If the Jagdpanzer can successfully hunt and kill that T-34, it'll really help Barton get more map control. Gets a good shot off right there. I don't see any mines down anywhere from Cruzz either, so that Jagdpanzer doesn't have to be too careful in its movements. But at the same time, it doesn't want to get flanked and swarmed, or doesn't want to fall too low to PTRS, plinking off its frontal armor either. It has to pull back a little bit for some repairs. Map control still pretty okay for Barton. He's just got a huge victory point lead. He's got all the time in the world to just play safe and try and retake control of this game a little bit. Having that second Jagdpanzer on the field is definitely going to help a lot. G43 is trying to work on the lone combat engineer squad, do force a retreat right there. If he can get engine damage on that T-34 with a rifle grenade, very good chance of it going down to the Jagdpanzer, so T-34 has to kite them quite carefully. Jagdpanzer is getting pushed off the battlefield though by sustained PTRS fire over time. Still no salvage on these, by the way. It's free 10 fuel sitting in his base. Barton probably picked that up at some point. Volksgrenadiers have to retreat from this engagement. That could be a wipe. Very good chance of a wipe right there. T-34 fortunately misses both of its shots. Reckenwerfer could move up slightly to keep that T-34 out of the center. Does have a little bit of protection from these infantry squads, and then T-34 is just going to hide behind the house for now. Outside of Jagdpanzer line of sight, and outside of Reckenwerfer line of sight. Does take one shot from the Jagdpanzer as it circles towards the south. Heavy mortar pushes the Reckenwerfer into retreating, and flamethrower plus PTRS has pushed the Fusiliers into retreating right there.
Gun crew has been lost.
Enemy infantry!
Oh no, that Jagdpanzer just got flanked so hard. I think it might go down here. That Jagdpanzer needs like 2 shots, 3, maybe even 3 shots to bounce or miss. Oh no! Oh, turret rotation. Oh, it gets a destroyed engine crit. I think that T-34 might go down. Okay, fortunately guards were available for a final PTRS shot. Nice play by Cruzz, bringing the guard squad just in case. That crit could have been devastating if that Jagdpanzer had survived. Pretty good trade for Cruzz, honestly. 2 T-34s for 2 Jagdpanzers, but there is now 20 fuel sitting in Barton's base. I don't know why he wouldn't salvage all this. He needs to get that fuel back up, and he needs to get a third Jagdpanzer out because the second set of T-34s is coming very soon, and Barton's infantry is all dying. None of it can beat guards. The guard spam is just so too strong. And his Fusiliers are having trouble vetting up. He needs like vet 5 Fusiliers with G43s to be able to contend with these vet 3 guards with their DP machine guns. Clearly, he just can't stack up. Fusiliers are gonna get wiped. I'm pretty sure they're dead. These wipes, Barton cannot afford this. His army's getting so small. He had such a huge lead. It's so painful to see this slowly happening. I still think he could win this game, though. I still think it's possible. It's just going to be very hard now. At least he has a huge victory point lead. He's 200 points ahead. He should be able to recover this game. I think it can be done. Cruzz, not making it easy, though. This engagement's going to take some time. Vet 5 Folks Grenadiers against Vet 3 Guards. Looks like the Folks Grenadiers are kind of pulling ahead. Panzerschreck has the potential to destroy their cover, I think. Conscripts moving up to support in the engagement will probably turn it in Cruzz's favor. Another engagement over here. Oh god, I hope those G43s don't get wiped. That is his only veterancy on this battlefield at all that can actually beat infantry. Grenade in the retreat path, slightly off target. Fortunately, these two squads will win against those guards, force a retreat. More guards set up in green cover on the fuel with flamethrower support, and there's the next set of T-34s, which are probably going to seal the game. Barton's too cut off. He hasn't been getting any fuel coming in. He only has one Rakettenwerfer to protect himself. He has not salvaged this fuel, which he really, honestly, desperately needs to get that Jagdpanzer out quicker. With only 6 fuel coming in, this is 3 full minutes worth of fuel sitting in his base that he has not salvaged. Here they come. Probably GG if Barton is not able to defend against this coming push. They will reveal themselves to this Panzerschreck squad. Rakettenwerfer's in the base. He's set up, set up, set up. T-34 is taking some shots. Wow, okay, Rakettenwerfer dies instantly. There's engine damage on that T-34. The only thing in Barton's base that can save him is 2 Panzerschreck squads. One squad just got wiped. T-34 is happy with that wipe. Killed a Rakettenwerfer and a Volksgrenadier squad, I think, so they're just going to pull back for repairs. And continue to whittle Barton down. Green cover sandbags set up down here with guards standing behind them will be impossible to overwhelm with anything less than 2 squads of Barton's infantry, maybe even more than 2 squads. I need to throw a grenade too. Although they are wounded, at least, there's that. Heavy mortar on that Volksgrenadier squad, bringing them a little bit low. Barton is about to be completely contained in his base. Still no fuel for Jagdpanzer, still no salvaging.
Taking fire! High! Under attack! Send orders! Secured!
Panzer Fusiliers moving to engage against these guards. They're going to hide inside this house. This Vet 3 squad right here is the only weapon Barton really has against guards, so he's going to have to make good use of it. These 2 T-34s have temporarily pulled back for repairs. Going to take a little while before they can move to re-engage, but if their next engagement is anywhere near as successful as their last, could seal the game. Barton is down to only 5 squads remaining right now. Not a very good situation to be in. To be fair, Cruzz doesn't exactly have a huge army either. These 2 combat engineer squads make it look bigger, but just 3 squads of guards against 3 squads of fusiliers does give guards the advantage, but it's not a huge advantage. It's just pretty respectable. Barton's trying to slow down the triple cap here in the center, but he will get pushed away by that freshly repaired T-34. This one will move to re-engage soon as well. Oh no, a demo charge! That wasn't that bad, fortunately. That was not that bad. Squad does not get wiped. It's not a wipe that Barton probably could have afforded. Another Rakettenwerfer is in production. Hopefully this one will do better than the last. And another Jagdpanzer is still 25 fuel away with only 12 fuel coming in. There's one Panzerschreck in the base to try and push that T-34 away. If those G43s get wiped, I honestly think it's GG. He needs that not to die. Moving them to safety now. T-34 does not land a shot. Panzerschreck will push it out of the base. Here in the center, Volksgrenadiers are pushed away by more conscripts. Here in the south, fresh Fusiliers engaging against guards will probably lose since they're all in green cover and the Fusiliers have only one south-facing window and they're under heavy mortar fire. Second T-34 here on the cutoff. Oh, wait, this one's still in the base. I don't know why that one hasn't moved. I hope it's not, like, stuck. Guards will be forced to retreat right there. That could have been a huge wipe for Barton if he managed to pick that up, but unfortunately is not successful in doing so. This blob of infantry making its way out of Barton's base, take control of the strategic point, push Cruzz into retreating back off this battlefield. T-34 does leave Cruzz's base. Here it comes. We'll drive straight into that Raketenwerfer and Panzerschreck.
Enemy movement!
Raketenwerfer will be forced to retreat. G40 or Fusiliers moving up to try and damage that T-34's engine. Doesn't look like they'll be successful. Barton getting pretty close to his next Jagdpanzer. Cruzz, meanwhile, getting also extremely close to his next set of T-34s. Once there's 4 T-34s on the field, one Jagdpanzer is not going to be nearly enough. He's going to need like 2 more Raketenwerfers. And maybe planting a few mines could help, but he doesn't have any Sturm Pioneers, and he certainly doesn't have the manpower to afford them.
Full arms fire! Put my men to full strength. Watch out! Move! Stand to! Enemy infantry!
Grenadiers back.
Suppress the assault! Spin around!
Fusiliers have to retreat from this engagement. Raketenwerfer's overextended. Panzerschreck squad there, probably also overextended. Cruzz is probably going to start floating up manpower for his next set of T-34s now. He is also a little bit pop-capped, so he's going to maybe need to lose a conscript squad or a combat engineer squad
Falling to 200 points.
if he's going to field that next set, which might happen on its own if he's unlucky enough or retreats late enough on one of these guard squads. This blob taking control of Barton's cutoff, and a triple cap against him will continue. Against all odds, Cruzz has somehow managed to bring the victory point clock back even. He's going to be even with Barton very soon. It'll be about 150 victory points to each player. All infantry here in the south will be forced to retreat away from those T-34s. Should really try not to lose G-43s if he can avoid it. G-43s getting wiped is incredibly expensive. Looks like that squad will get away. And Barton finally has the manpower, or the fuel for a Jagdpanzer. His third one. He's going to have to use this one very carefully, though. This will probably be the most challenging one to keep alive yet this game, in fact, against potentially 4 T-34s. So he will have to be absolutely very careful. His next 90 munitions probably going to go into G-43s for this squad. Going to try and slow down the victory point drain here in the north as the victory points are pulling even. These two squads reinforcing here by the battle group headquarters. Grenade toss over the hedge. T-34 goes in on the squad. Nice dodge by Cruzz right there. There is a Raketenwerfer here protecting in the base. Push that T-34 back out. Jagdpanzer is in production. Panzer Fusiliers taking control of the victory point here in the north. Demo charge right there. 2 squads of guards moving to counter. Should be able to do so easily. G-43s are on their way. This T-34 pulls back for repairs. This one moving to re-engage here in the south with flamethrower support, and the Jagdpanzer is rolling onto the field. This is definitely Barton's last hope.
Forward elements report and infantry unit lost.
If anything goes wrong with this Jagdpanzer, Barton will definitely lose this game. G-43s jumping up into yellow cover up here in the north. Volksgrenadier support. Grenade toss into the area. Counter grenade. Cruzz will dodge. Takes minor damage right there. T-34 is diving the base here in the south. Raketenwerfer set up on the road. Jagdpanzer behind. Jagdpanzer managed to push the T-34 out of the base. These 3 squads trying to slow the victory points down here in the north. Second T-34 making its way to try and flank that Jagdpanzer, which has 1 Raketenwerfer protecting. Third set of T-34s will be here as soon as Cruzz takes any kind of losses. Heavy mortar plus T-34 working on the north. Barton will have to try and win this engagement with an anti-tank grenade plus 1 Panzerschreck, but he's getting crushed to death very quickly. Jagdpanzer moving to try and help in this engagement. Everything just got wiped. Jagdpanzer is too late to save the day. Volksgrenadiers also get wiped. T-34 could probably just continue circle strafing that Jagdpanzer to death. Another Panzerschreck arrives to try and... wow. Try and turn this engagement. T-34 gets a pretty good crush maneuver off and looks like it might even get to safety thanks to the miracle of main gun destroyed crits. Unless it rams the Jagdpanzer and immobilizes it? Seriously? That's possible? Oh my god, I can't even believe that just happened. Wow, that's GG for sure. Nothing Barton can do. And even if that engagement had gone amazingly well for Barton, a fresh set of T-34s was already on its way anyway. So GG, Cruzz will take the series. Although Barton definitely put up a good fight, and I thought for sure Barton had this. I could not envision a scenario in which Cruzz was going to come back from that horrible situation, but Guard Motor emerges victorious yet again. Well played, Cruzz.